Welcome to the Fantasmagorium show. August 29th, 1997 is a day that would decide our fate. It is the day that Skynet became self-aware and decided that humanity was its own worst enemy. Luckily, there is no fate except for what we build for ourselves. Come with us if you want to live. Let's go.
And we are alive.
We are alive for the time being. We have 2 more days.
Yes. And then all hell breaks loose, apparently.
I came because I want to live.
Well,
Right.
welcome. Oh, my stars. Are you in Skynet, the Turgenator?
I've turned on off all the lights because I thought I heard some robots outside, so I thought I'd better keep it quiet.
Oh, dude, I have a dog. So my dog's going to be able to catch synthetic.
The
Is his name
also.
Terminator 2? Is your dog named Wolfie?
Your godparents are dead. Your foster parents are dead. Wolfie.
How's Wolfie doing?
Wolfie's fine. Wolfie's just fine. Anyway, let's.
By the way, welcome to the Friday Free for All.
Hello.
Judgment Day, or JDay, as some people call it. August 29th, 1997. Actually, it's depending on which movie. I think that date actually moves around a bit.
It does.
Depending what movie you watch. And we'll get into that a little later.
Yeah.
Obviously, welcome to the show. Every day we say, please like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell, do all those things. Please, we do like subscriptions are great, but even better than that is shares, comments, and likes and dislikes.
Well, I get tickled whenever we get a dislike.
Sure.
So
that's
just me.
I'd rather elicit a negative review than no review at all.
Well, of course, I would rather be liked.
Sure, me too. If you'd like to send in a tip with your comment or question, please do so. www.streamelements.com/Fantasmagorium show/tip. We have a website where you can check out our shows, movie news, articles, as well as a link to our audio-only podcast page, and that's www.phantasmagoriumshow.com. We also have a shop there where you can pick up t-shirts, hoodies, and other trinkets. www.phantasmagoriumshow.com/shop.
Do you really have to say www? Anymore?
I don't know. I like saying it, but no. Do
Okay.
I have to? No. I don't even have to show up every day.
This is true.
But I
true.
do.
Neither do I, but so do I.
So do I have to say www? No, but I do because it sounds good.
It rolls off the tongue.
It does. And
At
it's
least you
better
don't.
than trying to do the HTTPS://
Yeah.
I was
That's
just about to say that. I'm
time-consuming.
just happy you don't say http://
Right. Well, speaking of the shop, I had a very busy morning.
Yes.
I designed a bunch of new t-shirts for the shop and for the show and for the shows underneath the Fantasmagorium show umbrella. And if you will indulge me, I'd like to share some of those with you right now.
Oh, what's going on? I'd love to see.
So here's the first one.
Do I even work here?
This is the Cult Classic Movie Corner number 1.
Ooh, look at that. That's
Here's
really good.
Cult Classic Movie Corner number 2.
Ooh, dark and brooding. It's very Norwegian Black Plague-esque.
This is Cult Classic Movie Corner t-shirt number 3.
Also
I
very
do
cool.
Enjoy.
That's basically like our coat of arms almost for the show. And then my favorite is the Cult Classic Movie Corner number 4, which is the Shocker.
Well,
You see anything or two?
I like that one, but I think the second one is my favorite.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a good one. I actually really like this one too.
Although that's my favorite. The first one is my favorite.
Although it's not necessarily like Howard the Duck is not a grotesque.
No, but those are shock. I actually really
they're
like
amazing. They're amazing, and I think you should get your pre-orders in now before Halloween.
The man on that shirt is totally watching duck tits.
Right.
Yes, he has just realized. Yes.
Here's Martini's Gadgets and Guns first one.
Ooh,
a little. What do you call it in English? In Norway, we call it a rebus.
Mm.
When you combine things to make them into a word.
Yeah.
Oh, a pictogram.
A pictogram. Thanks.
Another variation of Martini's Gadgets and Guns.
See, I like that one better than I like the one with the drone.
With the drone, yeah, me too. I put it in there just because this is more gear, but it does have a little guy inside because it's kind of like the Man of Mystery guy. I like this one the best. And then here's one with the actual words on it. And I can make this one with the words on it too. So I'll probably do that as well.
Well, and green would be great.
And there's a bunch of different colors for all of these, by the way.
I suppose all I have to do is go to www.phantasmagoriumshow.com/shop.
That's what you do. Okay, so here's Set to Stun.
Ooh, great.
The first one.
Nice.
Lovely.
That's
the only problem is I think Chandra would prefer a Voyager.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I might be able to grab a Voyager one.
I'm just suggesting. I'm not complaining. I like. We might
be able to do that. I don't know. We're kind of limited with what we can actually use.
Oh, I get it.
Because we don't have licensing or anything. But this is a public domain. I know, right? Fuckers. Here's Set to Stun 2.
Oh, that's easy peasy. That's great.
And Set to Stun 3, which is my favorite.
Why is he sad?
He's just sad, Spocky. I dig it.
He's sleepy.
He's sleepy. So I like that. I like that one. I like this one, and I like all of them. I think they all came out really cool. So if you like them too, please go to our shop and pick yourself up one. Like I said, all of these designs come in a variety of different colors, and keep looking out. We'll keep updating them as time goes on.
Now, just because I'm an ignoramus, can you get, if I were to get a mug, can I get those designs on the mug?
I can. Right now, the answer is no.
Okay.
Until I have to go in and I have to create those designs on the different products. But yes, eventually we'll be able to get those on mugs and stuff like that too. Right now they're just T-shirts, but we'll work on getting the rest of that stuff done over the next week or two.
Dun 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 dun. Are you not looking? Yeah, no, I know. Much more with Turjay, the Turgenator too.
Yeah.
Like, is that a full mask, man?
It's not.
Oh, it's just a thing. You're doing the same thing I'm doing.
It's my human skulled friend. I call him Little Joe.
Yeah. Little Joe.
This is Jeff.
Jeff and Joe.
Oh boy.
No, this is actually
how long did you show today?
It broke, but it's actually made of plastic, and it was a special edition of Terminator Salvation. So there was supposed to be a thing underneath here where you had the disc, but I got it for like $20 on Amazon, and it makes for just a good display.
That's cool.
Pretty good.
Well, $20.
Like this is the size of my skull. This actually came in a loot crate. And I was like, that is awesome. And the detail on it is really, really cool because it's even got the slot where they take out the brain chip. If I had my keychain next to me, you would be able to see the Terminator, the chip that Miles Bennett Dyson creates to put in the damn thing. And then in the deleted scene, they bust that chip up. However, before we all just get self-referential, There is a like what? Okay, we should talk about the Terminator, and we should talk about it as opposed to just having fun in this particular hot tub. So, in 1997, on August 29th, Skynet becomes self-aware. Let's
Yes.
not forget, it was August 4th of that same year that the Skynet legislation was passed, thusly transmitting all defense and strategic information and action to Skynet. This was developed by, oh my God,
Cyberdyne.
Well, Cyberdyne Systems, absolutely, and pioneered by Miles Bennett Dyson in the original timeline. Yeah, and so on August 29th, Skynet became self-aware. They tried to pull the plug, and Skynet fought back and said, no, bitch.
Yeah, no, bitch. Judgment Day, also known as JDay, refers to the day that the artificial intelligence Skynet becomes self-aware and starts a nuclear strike on the United States of America, Russia, and other places, killing 3 billion people. Sarah
Boom.
Connor first learned about Judgment Day in 1984 from Kyle Reese, a soldier sent from the future to protect her from an assassination mission by a Terminator. And she actually learns more about Skynet from that same Terminator.
Thank you,
And
Steve.
there you go. You're welcome.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lyndall Hamilton and Eddie Furlong told it way better than I was doing. That's amazing, but that is incredible world building in terms of, all right, well, this is what happens. And also Sarah Connor, up until she finds out in Terminator 1 and in Terminator 2, she's a crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been trying to figure out how to live in this nihilistic world of ultimate demise that is impending. I saw the robot to prove it.
That was we often bemoan the info dump, but that's when it's used to its perfection, in my opinion. When you info dump in the right way, that's exactly what you needed. Otherwise, it would have been some kind of montage, right, explaining all of that. And I thought I thought that exposition was really well placed and really well done.
Yeah,
it's something
absolutely.
about the setting as well in the movie where they're like out in the desert. You have this calm music in the background. Linda Hamilton is really, really good at acting in this movie. She really makes that part come alive.
Sure.
So I've never thought of that exposition as boring, even though I've seen the movie like several times. It's just part of the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Scott.
It is informative exposition, and it is character-driven exposition. It works with the scene, and the way that it is shot is beyond reproach. Like, it's amazing. That is, Terminator 2 is one of the best movies of all time.
It's my favorite. I have a confession to make. I haven't seen all of the Terminator movies. I've seen 3, the first 3. I didn't see. Is there 4 or 5?
5.
I don't know.
I don't even know. There's Salvation and Genesis, right?
Yes, and
Dark Fury.
Not Dark Fury. What's it called?
No.
It's Future War.
Dark Fate?
It's the one with Christian Bale. Good for you.
Oh, that's Salvation.
Salvation, Genesis, and Dark Fate.
Dark Fate. So I have seen Dark Fate. Yeah. So I seen actually 4 then, right?
You saw Dark Fate?
I did.
How was it?
It was okay. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was horrible. I thought it was all right. Yeah.
You've never seen Genesis.
I haven't seen Genesis. So that's the only one I guess I missed.
Because it would be interesting to hear your comparison. I've seen Genesis, but I've never seen Dark Fate. So it would be fun to have.
Wait, Genesis, is that the one with
Daenerys? Khaleesi?
No, the actor from Clash of the Titans and a bunch of other stuff.
No, you're thinking
Salvation?
Yeah, that's Salvation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I haven't seen the Genesis one.
No, Genesis is the one with Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one. I like Amelia Clark, but I haven't seen that.
Well, and her as Sarah Connor is actually quite lovely.
I heard it. I heard the movie was not good.
Well, no.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it. Like it was a good bad movie.
Yeah.
It isn't fantastic, but it has its moments. But they did this whole thing where they de-aged and computerized Arnold to recreate a different version of the scenes from the first movie, where he shows up from the future and beats up these hooligans, these punks, and take their clothes. And always when you do scenes like that, you're always, well, the way the technology is today, you're always gonna end up in like this uncanny valley place, where it's kind of fan service. You're kind of into seeing it, but it isn't all there.
Yeah, and Terje, you've seen Genesis.
Yeah.
And so one of the problems that I had with, I think, the scene that you're discussing is that it was Arnold Schwarzenegger de-aged going up to the gang of hooligans that we saw in the first 1984 Terminator, right?
Yep.
One of those hooligans was Bill Paxton.
Yes.
And so when Genesis was released, I think it was hovering around the time of his death. I may be mistaken. But I knew when they were recreating original Terminator scenes and it wasn't going to be Bill Paxton, I was like, well, then it doesn't work. The original Terminator is so iconic that even that one brief interaction, it's like, well, no, I know this because of this, and it crosses all of the lines of genre movies. It's like, yeah, no, Bill Paxton was in this and this and this, and James Cameron movies, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, like everything. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bill Paxton meet again in True Lies for fun and profit. And so, yeah, no, it's just when they recreated it in Genesis, I found it to be trite. But I still enjoyed the cover song.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun revisiting those things, and it's not like that makes or breaks the movie in any way. What happened with the Terminator sequels is that they did the same thing that most series do when they make too many movies. They kind of get entangled in their own story. They get entangled in like how they travel back and forth. That one movie will kind of ruin the premise of another movie, and you never get to like relive the excellence of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That was a movie that kind of redefined both special effects and what an action movie should be. So it's really you can't recreate that.
No, not at all. And you are, I would be remiss if I didn't discuss the revolution in the special effects in terms of the CGI, things that James Cameron had built upon from The Abyss. Like, in terms of that is possibly the precursor to the awesomeness that was Jurassic Park. Like, they really didn't know the full potential. Please correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but like The Abyss and Terminator 2 were some of the pioneers in CGI composition.
Absolutely. And it's not that long since I saw Terminator 2. I saw it 2-3 years ago when it was released in 3D.
Nice.
It was when I still had my projector and my screen, and I watched it in 3D, and the 3D actually quite worked for this movie. It was a fun, good experience, and I think the special effects hold up. Of course, you can see that they are special effects, but it's not. Some movies kind of have effects where they take you out of the movie. But that never happens to me, at least in Terminator 2. I believe what's happening, and to this day, I think it's cool watching the T-1000 go through the jail bars and have his gun stick on the bars.
There is only one thing about the T-1000 that makes me cringe, and that is when they fight in the mall, in the Galleria, and he does the double take to the silver mannequin. That always makes me like, no, no.
So I'm looking at a list right now of the Terminator movies in chronological order. So
Okay.
So
that would
where
be
where the story is.
so that would be Terminator Genesis, The Terminator, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, then Terminator the Sarah Connor Chronicles, the TV show, which I loved, by the way. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, me too.
Then Terminator, wait, I don't know why it has Terminator Genesis again, and then Terminator Salvation, and then Terminator Dark Fate. Yeah, I guess I'll need to see the Terminator Genesis, because I have seen all of the other Terminator stuff except for that one. So maybe I'll have to give that one a shot. 38 Metascore. Ooh.
Well, no, but it's one of those movies that it is a cover song.
Hey, there's a Richard.
The Richard is here with the glowing dun dun, dun
more skulls.
Dun 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 dun.
What's up, guys?
Not much. What's going on?
I'm playing with my toys.
Yeah.
Oh, heavens! If you're going to show off your skull, Terje.
I saw his baby. Whip it out.
I never whip it out on the first date.
That's not what I heard.
I'm jealous because you guys actually have a better version. I've got the Salvation one, and it's a mask, but I always wanted the version that Scotty and Terje Mater to has.
Terminator.
Dose. But yeah. So what is your so we were talking about the Skynet taking over. And so but there is no fate except for what you make for itself, Richard. Which is your favorite Terminator?
I publicly announced this a while back. I'll watch Terminator 1 once a month for the rest of my life.
Boom. I accept your answer.
I love Terminator 2. It was a masterpiece, and I remember seeing it with Kelly Day, one of my sweethearts back in high school. I even sculpted a cyborg face with liquid latex and a glowing eye, and I was featured in the freaking high school yearbook for that. I'm a huge Terminator fan. Huge.
Okay. And so if you had a choice between, you said that you would watch Terminator 1 every month for the rest of your life. Would you watch Terminator 1 over Terminator 2? If you had a choice between cutting one of the two out, which one would you take? Would you get rid of Terminator 1 or would you get rid of Terminator 2?
Judgment Day is a bitch, man. It's going to happen no matter what. So it doesn't matter to me. I will. I love. They're for both different reasons. Terminator 1 is horror and stalker, and Terminator 2 is action fantasy, sci-fi. I mean, and I love them both. And liquid metal. I mean, you can't beat the mimetic polyalloy. So.
Okay, so considering that the T-1000 was mimetic polyalloy and traveled through time, but nothing artificial or manufactured can travel through time, it has to be skin. So if he's a mimetic polyalloy, then that means even his flesh is metal.
I didn't I completely forgot that we would be getting into time travel conspiracies and everything. Oh my God, this is a
Terminator.
This is the never-ending conversation. So yes, you're right in that sense.
I know.
Maybe his physical appearance when he came in, though, was flesh.
Well,
and then when he changed, then he was full metal.
We don't know how mimetic this polyalloy can be. And it would be unwise, knowing that Skynet created the time travel device. They would probably, like, even if they had internal replicators that could give a membrane of flesh around the mimetic polyalloy, like, I don't know. Do you think that if a T-1000 was subjected to a blood test, would it be able to artificially create blood? My answer is yes.
I would actually kind of disagree. I think that logically, yes, it should. Though, at least after it appears in the movie,
Which
the
one?
first time, the mimetic polyalloy in Terminator 2: Judgment Day, when he first transforms, I think he would lose all of the actual properties of being a human. Like, it burned off of him during that explosion. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
I mean, come on, man. An opening like that?
That's amazing.
Badass.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you.
Okay. I'm just gonna put this out there. T-1000 is bullshit, right?
Total
How
bullshit.
so?
Well, you made the point already. I mean, what's in that now? Here's the thing, right? We all know that the twist in Terminator 2 was ruined in marketing, right?
Yes.
We're supposed to think that Arnold is the villain, right? Now, if
It's supposed to be ambiguous up until a point, and the marketing betrayed that twist.
yeah, exactly, right?
Unavoidable, I say.
It was the moment when he has the roses, when he opens the box of roses and he's got the shotgun and he points it at Sarah, and you think, oh fuck,
John.
He points it at John. John is between Sarah. He points it at Sarah, and John gets in his face, right?
Sarah's in an asylum at that point.
Exactly, right?
But, and I agree with you, is because the audience was intending to be like, oh, there's a cop, good guy.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
the Terminator from the last film, bad guy. And then it wasn't until he said to John Connor, get down, that you knew.
Obviously, the T-1000 had some sort of biological shell that was basically that was the like Robert Patrick. Now, what we should have seen is him slough that off and become the liquid metal, but we never got to see that, right?
Oh, come on, you're blaming
The fire, though, the explosion.
But no, that's later in the film.
You're blaming a pioneer of science fiction special effects for not showing more special effects.
No. The sheath that was allowed him to come back in time had to be sloughed off. He cannot morph with the sheath on, right? Because it would just become soup, right?
You're right. In the hallway, in the back hallway, when Terminator T-800 is shooting him, he's repairing himself before he gets in the explosion.
No. He's already sloughed it off by that point, right? He's already sloughed it off by that point. He doesn't have it anymore.
I'm defending you.
He literally, when he's naked, you know, when Robert Patrick's naked, that is the skin suit. Yeah, I know you do. That's the skin suit. Because why would he need to be naked if it was a biological, if the metal skin, whatever, right? So he had a biological skin suit on originally that looked like Robert Patrick, right? and that's what he was programmed to look like, just for consistency's sake, right? So he now off screen he sloughs that off. Now, if he sloughed it off on screen, you would know he was the villain. You would not think he was a human, right? You are supposed to think he is a human up until that point in the corridor. Now, if we'd seen
which makes
him
no sense, because if you were sending somebody back in time and you were going to make up this human shell, it would be Reese, so she can get next to these people and kill the target.
Yeah, but
and if I may interject, like the return of the T-1000 is found by
T-800.
No, the T-1000 is found by the cop when he, like the cop pulls up, gets out, says possible electrical disturbance, looks at the fence, which is a perfect circle, and so the T-1000 had already returned from time at that point.
Yeah.
And was away from their initial return.
Yeah.
So it does still leave a little bit of mystery as to whether or not it's human. But Kyle Reese had to be returned above ground because, you know what? Time travel is hot. You cannot stand in the midst of it.
One of my biggest concerns of all time has been, why didn't he take the image of the police officer that he's occupying the car? You know, why did he stick with? And Tony, I guess, kind of, you know, maybe the character T-1000 was programmed. The thing is, though, every person he meets, he changes over to them, but he didn't for that guy.
Well, but from what I remember, Robert Patrick is supposed to look like the adult John Connor.
Oh,
What?
okay. That's what
I've never heard that.
From that now, going back to this is going way back, because obviously this is 30 years ago, right? So my memory, I can barely remember what happened this fucking morning, let alone 30 years ago.
They both have pointy ears and cat-like features.
Yeah. Exactly.
They do.
And I'm pretty sure I remember them saying that he was cast because he bore more of a resemblance to Edward Furlong, or vice versa. I can't remember now. But that obviously But they decided to go with just when they decided to we're just going to have Arnie be the good guy from the beginning. We're not really going to make anything of it. I think that's when they kind of gave that up.
I think if I'm going to give my 2 cents on that whole thing, I think it's just very basic Hollywood economics, because they couldn't afford to have him be a liquid, solid metal man the entire movie. It would be too expensive.
Well,
it wouldn't be really cool if they had him do kind of a thing where he was several different characters throughout the movie, which would be much more efficient for the Terminator to change it around, so you would never know who he was.
Exactly.
If you think of it as like a virus in John Carpenter's The Thing. So what they wanted was someone who had presence, seemed scary, could do some physical things, and they cast Robert Patrick. It doesn't fit the story well, but they needed a face for the character.
To be honest, Robert Patrick was not an expensive actor at that time, and he was rising. And they did swap out the bodies here and there, like in the psychiatric ward where they used the twins. But we'll get to that a little bit later.
That's great.
Yeah.
But I bet I remember.
Sorry to interrupt, Tony. We got a Todd Michael in the chat. Todd Michael says, "Just to tickle Scotty, I will make sure I dislike all programming." And for that, we thank you. Thank you, Todd Michael.
It's a good thing.
Oh,
I love you, Art.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounded more like tobacco.
I don't even know what I'm doing, man.
Oh, maybe that's a new thing. Maybe that's a new way we can say her name.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, R.
She bought shirts.
Hi, everyone. These shirts look great.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yes.
But I think that is a good explanation of how how he could come back in time, but they couldn't actually do that because they wanted to give you the impression he was a human. But then they kind of gave up on that. But then they went, oh shit, we didn't actually shoot that scene with him slough the skin off. So it's like, fuck it, we don't care. I'm sure they won't either.
I think it's a thing that if you get hung up on the Terminator coming back from the future in a time machine, then they are a completely autonomous cyborg
but if you
mimetic when does your suspension of disbelief fall away?
Yeah, but
is it that
to,
little detail that I mentioned?
But as a filmmaker, you have to respect your own law, right?
Sure.
I mean, you have to have some respect for your own law. Otherwise, you know, civilization goes to hell in a handbasket, doesn't it?
Yes, clearly. Now, I have a question for everyone. When it comes to Terminator Salvation, do you find that Terminator Salvation is lacking as a Terminator movie because it lacks the time travel?
No. Actually not. I know a lot of people put a lot of hate on that movie, but I actually liked it. I think it's a cool movie, and I think it fits in the whole lore. And I thought it was fun to for once see a bit more of what happens in the timeline where everything is pretty much fucked.
The actor I was trying to remember, I think, is Sam Worthington, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Theseus. Also, I love the fact that we get to see the prototype model 101, i.e. Roland Kittinger as doing his CGI Arnie impression.
Yeah. And you know what? There is a little bit of credit to be given to that CGI cameo. I know that Arnold at the time was governing California.
He was doing that,
and so, he wasn't going to be in the movie. And so when they CGI'd him, it was absolutely cartoony.
I actually I didn't mind that. I actually the first, I guess then that would be the first 4 movies, right? Terminator I loved. Terminator 2 I think is my favorite one of all. It's the one I've seen the most.
Yeah.
The Rise of the Machines, Salvation, then Genesis, and then Dark Fate. 6? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so the Genesis is the only one I haven't seen. But I thought Salvation was okay.
Yeah. I enjoyed Sarah Connor Chronicles was a fun TV series, and
I loved it. I couldn't believe I could believe it when they axed it, but I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, and also Sarah Connor Chronicles is better than Genesis.
Oh, but it's better than the majority of the films.
But it shares plot line in terms of the time travel of them going to the future and overstepping things in the pilot episode of the Sarah Connor Chronicles. And so, I like
the actors in that. I mean, the actors were great.
Lena Headey is an amazing Sarah Connor.
And that was good. Summer Glau's awesome all the time. Yeah. Lena Headey. I mean, the whole show was good, but it only ran 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a shame.
I have actually not seen it.
Came out around the time of the last season, right? Because Salvation was 2009, and I moved to LA in 2007, and my buddy James was telling me, "Hey, you got to watch Sarah Connor Chronicles," and all of that seemed to be really close. So, did Salvation end up killing the TV show? That's my question.
Interesting. Maybe.
I don't know. I think it plays into it, really. I mean, because the timeline, it doesn't matter because it's not, again, time travel's not really a plot point. So it's not. There's nothing that can come back and mess it up. And Sarah Connor Chronicles takes place in a completely separate universe, let alone timeline. So I don't think it's a problem on that.
I don't know. That's a show that got axed way too early, in my opinion.
Yeah,
incredible.
It's Shirley Manson.
Todd Mike. Oh, right. I forgot Shirley Manson was in
there.
Todd Michael says, how is the TOS Constitution class image public domain? Actually asking for myself this time, not a friend. Todd Michael wants to know about... Yeah.
That particular image actually was not public domain. It was royalty free.
Cam says, hi, Steve and Scotty. Good to see you. At Todd Michael. Hi. Cam says, the shirts look great. Well, thank you.
Thanks, man.
That's all Steve.
Yeah, I like the shirts too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thanks, man. Remember when the consumer electronics industry thought 3D TVs were going to be a thing?
I still have mine. I love my 3D TV. F off.
That's true, actually. There are a lot of people who still love them, and I would be if it weren't the case that they don't make 3D televisions anymore. So I would when I bought my new TV, the 75-inch Samsung, I wanted a new TV that had good 4K, good HDR, and they just don't make 3D TVs anymore. So
correct, and it'll be sad. It'll be a sad day when mine actually goes out. Though this one that I got, I don't know if it's an early or a mid or later one, 2007 or something. Anyway, it upconverts, so it can play regular movies, especially animation. They look really good when you upconvert to 3D.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have my Blu-ray player happens to be 3D, but I don't have a TV or 3D Blu-rays or any of that BS. But whatever, that's fine.
I mean,
that just didn't catch on.
For 3D, 3D worked really well. VR, 3D and VR is kind of working at the moment, but not quite. But once they get the algorithms sorted out, it should work perfectly, and AR as well.
I'm seeing you all in 3D. Well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work if you don't have the glasses. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right. Todd Michael says, don't try to bring logic into the time travel of this. If you want to, if you do that, you'll need to come up with something to explain the xenomorph egg on the Nostromo.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. On the Sulaco. On the
Sulaco.
Yeah, it makes
Nostromo?
no sense. At the end of Aliens, right? At the end of Aliens, how is there a xenomorph egg in the shuttle, in the escape pod?
Gentlemen, you are talking about Weyland Yutani. We're supposed to be focusing on Cyberdyne systems.
That's Todd Michael.
But yeah, so...
Don't blame us.
Yeah.
We're just the participants.
I'm not blaming anyone. I was just curious as to where we were.
Again, the time travel stuff, they set it up in the first film. They set it up where you could not have... you had to have a biological shell, right? And in the comics, in the Dark Horse comics, they did some really cool stuff.
Yeah, there was this one point where they shoved a gun into a fat guy, and it was like, oh, you'll never be able to take this gun back in time, and it's like, as long as it's encased in flesh, I can take it wherever I want, and boom! And so Guy, who has just been punched through the belly with a Terminator holding a blaster and putting it into it, so now you have future guns in 1987, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I loved the Dark Horse Terminator comics because it was a slightly different timeline, and it wasn't reliant on the Connor clan.
Right,
it was going a different way, and I like that. And I also it wasn't reliant on the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of the Terminator. There were different. I think it was was it 109 and it was like 109, 120 and something like that. Because obviously, as we all know, the T-800 is the endoskeleton, and the Model 101 is the biological casing, right?
As we all know, yes.
Yeah. So
here's a note. Here's a note. It says in the Terminator timeline featured in Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines DVD, it stated that Judgment Day happens in 2003. The date July 25th, 2003 is pegged as Judgment Day in the novel Terminator Salvation: Cold War.
Yeah.
Now, if I may, the reason that occurs is because of the events of Terminator 2. And so Terminator 3 has the dubious position of saying that Judgment Day is inevitable. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. It is going to happen. Yeah. So it kind of erases the no fate but what we make for ourselves idea of the Terminator franchise. And that's why everything after Terminator 2, in my eyes, is a little paler. I like Terminator 1 and 2. By the time we get to number 3, it's like, oh no, I know all your sacrifice and all of the things that you did. But that didn't make a lick of difference. It just sort of postponed Judgment Day. So there are, in terms of the anniversary of Judgment Day, there are several.
I also like that the first one and the second one are so different movies. The first one is more like a thriller mixed with a horror movie. Yes. And then you have the second one, who is this pure sci-fi action movie. And if you look at the sequels that came after Judgment Day, you see that all of them are going in the same direction of just being action, sci-fi, time travel, and punchy, fisty stuff.
Yeah. Well, that original Terminator was a thing of nightmares, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I really, after seeing, because I saw it on obviously VHS, right? On a rental. And first time I saw it, I can't remember before that having nightmares about anything. But I remember having bad dreams about being followed by someone with red eyes, you know.
Haven't you always been scared of Austrian men coming into your bedroom?
Well,
always.
To be honest, you know, it's a sliding scale, right? You know, but it depends. If they're from the Tyrol, they're fine, you know. But you get too far out in the countryside, and it gets a bit weird. But
hey, Kat.
Hey, Kat.
So here's another note. The date July 25th, 2004 is also mentioned as Judgment Day in the novel Terminator Salvation: From the Ashes. The official movie Souvenir magazine marks that Judgment Day occurs in the year 2004, Terminator Salvation.
2004 or 2024?
2004.
Oh, okay.
So July 25th. So now we have 3 dates according to the Judgment Day for the Terminator Wiki.
Well, I'm a purist, Steve. I'm sorry. August 29th, 1997 is the first Judgment Day that I ever heard of. And
I agree.
If there are divergence in the timeline, I don't know. Call it the Mandela effect. Right. I don't care.
Well, because
August 29th or nothing.
Well, because the events of Terminator 2 stopped that from happening. But it didn't stop it forever. It just postponed it. It was a postponement.
Mm-hmm. But isn't that sort of a cheat? No fate but what you make for yourself, except for the fact that fate is inevitable?
It's bullshit. If Cameron had been involved with that film, I don't think it would have gone that way. I think it would have been better, perhaps. Or would it have been? We don't know.
Well, at least the world doesn't end on Valentine's Day like in Ghostbusters 2.
Right.
But obviously Cameron didn't want Terminator 3 to be a thing.
Obviously Linda Hamilton didn't want it to be a thing either. She was either written out of it or she didn't. They must have approached her. They must have.
Well, that's where the whole cancer.
Never date your lead actress.
Or marry her.
Marry her.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
Cam says at Tim Talk. Hi, Tim. Good to see you. These guys do a great stream. They'll have you on. They have to have you on.
Have you on? No, I thought I sent the link to Tim.
Tim.
I must. Tim's Talk says ahoy or hello to Cam. Yep, they are awesome. Rumor has it they are replicants. I'm 100%
Terminators.
man, lady. Sorry,
Yeah, 100%
I'm a man lady. I am a man lady.
Look, it makes no sense that John Connor is a replicant, okay?
No.
Well, okay, and so I guess that brings us to now, Tony, you've seen Genesis, yes?
Yeah, many times. Sadly,
Really?
I never got. No, actually, I've only seen them. I've seen them twice, not on purpose. Sadly, I never got to see them with Peter Gabriel. You know.
Ah,
Yes, hilarious.
I have the major board game that came for that movie. Let me find it real quick. It is way more awesome than the actual movie.
Yeah.
But don't you think that the change of John Connor from being injected or assimilated into Skynet and then being sent back in time in some like the whole thing is bad. It's bad.
You know what? Genesis.
I like the first half of it, and then the rest of it, I'm just
so
like, get out of my
good.
face.
The bit in the supermarket place, the clothes shop, where you've got the T1000 come in, and then Arnie destroys the other T800. I love that, and I love it up to the bit where Arnie does the skydiving thing into the other helicopter. But everything else is bullshit. Everything else.
Well, there's.
Yeah.
It is like going. It's like going to a pub and hearing someone like a pub band do a cover song of a movie, and then once or of a song, like they're doing really great. They're playing "Come On Eileen" like nobody's business, and then all of a sudden they start playing their own stuff halfway through the set, and it falls apart.
And it's the Dropkick Murphys. Yeah. But no, I was going to say, here's a crazy idea. If you took the best parts of Genesis and the best parts of Dark Fate and squished them together, could you make a good movie?
Yes. And here's where my brain went first. Emilia Clarke as Sarah Connor and Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. Having them meet would be amazing and an interesting full circle, considering that the father of John Connor is from the future who meets Sarah Connor of the past. But for Sarah Connor of the past to meet future Sarah Connor, I think that has some narrative potentiality.
Yeah.
You're broken.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Broken? No, do you not think that's a good idea?
Well, I was just thinking, like
you can say no.
No, I was just thinking. So you take the part where Sarah meets up with Arnie, and he's, what was he? A curtain he makes curtains, right?
I haven't seen Dark Fate. I have not seen Dark Fate.
Yeah, it's some kind of upholstery or curtain.
That's right. Yeah.
On the upholstery thing on the van. I can't remember. I only seen it one time, but
you know what? It's not a great movie. And
I didn't think it was horrible though.
And the thing is, again, I love Terminator 2. The only thing I hate about Terminator 2 is the way John Connor was portrayed. He's an annoying little shit. And when he gets blown away at the beginning of Dark Fate, I was like, oh, I'm all in on this.
Really?
I'm all in.
Right.
Oh no. I liked Edward Furlong as John Connor. I thought was one of the best child acting performances of all time.
Really?
He wasn't a child. He was a teenager.
He was like 13.
50.
All right. So anyway, despite his age, I found him as a young person to have given one of the best and most engaging young people performances I've ever seen.
No.
All right.
I cannot stand.
From the wiki, they say, since Sarah and the Terminator both share the same information, which it would in any case if both it and Kyle were sent back at the same time to different destinations, this date, which meaning the August 29th, 1997 date, has not changed as a result of Cyberdyne managing to reconstruct and create the Terminators from the remaining parts of the T-800 sent to 1984 from the future. At this stage, quality may have improved, but the timing has not yet changed. So all those follow-on dates, though, in further movies and novels and what have you, they start messing with the date.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Which is a bummer.
Well, yes.
As to whether I think you could put the two movies together, I could see ways where any of the movies could be done better. In particular, the last two, they were pretty horrendous. Though they had some really good parts, and I agree. Having the two Sarah Connors interact would be something special. I don't know what Marty McFly would think about that, but yeah.
Oh, isn't there like a how it should have ended animated version of the Terminator and Back to the Future? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, well, and also, Tony, you're one to game. Have you played any of the Terminator games?
I have. In fact, I got one of the latest Terminator games in a Steam sale, like about 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah,
and it's pretty fun. It's a first-person game, a stealth game, and there's a multiplayer version where you can play. One person plays a Terminator, the other person plays a meat sack,
resistance fighter.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty.
Your
pretty
regard
fun.
for humanity is frightening.
It's noted. You have been noted duly.
Yeah, exactly. If someone asks me to go towards the big industrial complex, I'll be like, Tony's working for the Robins.
Also, the T-800 is featured in, is it Mortal Kombat 10, 11?
Yeah. 11, I think, or in it.
And there you can have Arnold fight RoboCop.
There you go.
I think they added Rambo as well. Didn't they add Rambo as well? I think
Rambo's also in there, yeah.
Well, and that's a game too. Like there is a RoboCop versus Terminator game.
Yep.
So
that's as close as we're going to get, except for I'd like to plug another video channel, Bat in the Sun. They do a lot of parodies, and they have a lot of
Bat in the Sun's great.
They have a lot of crossovers, like RoboCop versus Terminator, Batman versus Darth Vader. Mm-hmm. So it's incredible stuff. Their quality. He was doing some commercials for a while, and he raised some money. They got banked now.
Yeah. That lot. I have a love-hate relationship with Bat in the Sun. I think it's a weird thing. So I always thought Doug Jones made a really interesting Joker, and obviously the guy who does those things, he did the last one with Michael Madsen, and his Joker is he looks great, but he's not the greatest actor in the world. He's very pantomimey, and I was just thinking, dude, you've got Doug Jones in this film, and he's playing the Riddler. I mean, can you imagine him with the was it the Gentleman? Was it the Gentleman
yes.
from Buffy? that makeup, but as the Joker, holy crap!
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't think that Doug Jones would be an appropriate Joker. And you could do it with prosthetics, but there is something too soft about his performances.
See, no, the thing is, I think it'd make a great Judge Death. I mean, that is I'm really hoping. If
and again, no, Doug Jones is not a villain. I don't know if he knows how to do a villain. Have you seen him be a villain? And correct me, please. Direct me to that performance.
Buffy,
Pan's Labyrinth.
In Pan's Labyrinth, Buffy.
It's more physical. It's not menacing.
Well, I mean, Joker is very physical. Yeah. I mean, the expressions and everything. I was just having a conversation with somebody last night. I did that painting for The Shape of Water that I was supposed to give to Doug Jones, and I pulled out my back and wasn't able to give it to him. Well, now we're making arrangements so I can actually physically give it to him again.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. Nice. Congratulations.
Here's another note. In an early script draft of Terminator 2 Judgment Day, John Connor, who is the narrator instead of Sarah, mentioned Judgment Day as having occurred in 1999. In T2 Rising Storm, John Connor remarks the original Judgment Day happening 15 years ago. Since that story takes place in 2001, that makes Judgment Day happen approximately 1986 instead of 1997, as mentioned in the film Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
All right.
Note that the film The Terminator in 1984, Kyle Reese says that the nuclear war would occur a few years from now. It's unknown if this is a continuity error or a change caused by time-traveling missions.
Steve, can I meet you at camera 2 for just 1 second? Sorry,
sure.
Guys. We'll be back in a second.
Have you guys heard the seen the?
Richard, I got to talk to Steve for a second. Steve for a second. So, Steve,
yes.
Are you bringing up all of these alternate Judgment Days because you didn't know what the hell I was talking about when I said it was the anniversary? Are you kind of busting my chops, dude?
No.
All right.
No. I mean, yes.
There are a lot of Judgment Days. You know what? I don't know if you were trying to make this point, but you made your point. There are a lot of Judgment Days.
No, it's the notes I put together for the show.
And I appreciate them completely, but you keep poking holes in my August 29th.
No, I'm not, because it's for me, it's the original date. Anything that comes after that is just poetic license.
Well, then I appreciate you looking up the alternates.
Scott. Yeah.
Say that again. The 27th, Scott.
Yeah, no, we're anticipating. I know. You can't celebrate Judgment Day on Judgment Day. There's other stuff going on, like Judgment Day.
Yeah, and getting completely wiped off the map.
Yeah, but as we all know, Judgment Day's been cancelled now. You know, you can't put out all your Judgment Day decorations. I'm not allowed to put my Judgment Day decorations on the front of my house anymore. I'm not allowed to put all the skulls out. You know,
no, that's right.
Skulls and the bleached bones.
It's very offensive.
So unfortunately, we are no
longer allowed. You laugh now, but your Roomba is going to eat your face.
It is. Oh, by the way, did anybody catch the new Tesla robot?
Oh, unveiling? I know. I saw that thing, the Tesla bot.
I didn't catch it. I saw it.
I only want to know two things, and one is, will it kill me? And two, may I be intimate with it?
No. It says that it's not supposed to kill you. It's most likely not going. That's what Elon Musk said. His PR thing was literally like, we don't anticipate it killing you.
So I like when they say it most likely won't kill you.
Most likely. Now, I mean, you know, because you can't.
My number 3 is, when is it going to go to the Olympics? Because it seems very good at jumping and sliding around.
Well, they say you can outrun it, so if it gets mad at you, just run away.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I can.
The big question is, does this robot have more empathy than Elon Musk?
Oh, probably not.
Oh,
but I love the fact that he said you can send it to the store to get you Twinkies. All right.
Well, I want to know if the robot can walk my dog.
Yes, it can.
Yes, it
absolutely.
can.
That's what it's made for. Actually,
yes.
It can also stomp it into hamburger meat if you want.
Well, no, I mean
it can also recycle its entrails. Yes.
I'm sorry, Master. I killed your dog. Damn it, Isaac!
All right.
I did it very, very efficiently, sir.
You should be proud.
It felt no pain. All right, fine.
I just want to know if it'll dispatch my enemies.
I'll be back in the morning, sir. Oh, because I'm gonna have a murderous Jarvis.
If it will absolutely dispatch my enemies, I will buy one today.
Yeah, but it misunderstands. You say you want it to dispatch your enemies,
and then it kills your loved one.
No. They'll dispatch them to your front door, like FedEx.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Special delivery.
All of them at once.
Well, and the thing is, Steve, like, Kat, Sergey, Richard, Tony, it's going to be difficult. I'll have to get, like, flights. Well, and for Sergey as well. But Richard, Catherine, Steve, I can send this robot your way.
I love robots.
And just be like, hey, knock on the door, say hello, turn around, come back. Make it completely autonomous. I can send it on a mission, and it's going to be like one of those things where it's like, they're just robots walking around.
You have to have it say land shark. That's all you have to do. Just have it say land shark and then run away.
I just want to send it to work every day. It can go do its 8 hours a day, come back. I'll take the paycheck because I bought the robot. It's mine, right? I own it.
If that's what you want, you have to watch the movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, I actually really like that movie. It's not perfect, but I do enjoy it. But
it is one of those movies that Bruce Willis seemed to care about.
It's one of the last ones, absolutely.
And according to some of the critics of this show, it could just sit in for me, and it would be 100 times better.
Who?
Did you guys
Bruce
see
Willis?
Terminator 2 too?
No, Bruce Willis.
Hey, Steve, it's not a microwave, man.
It's not.
Well, Steve, you're better than Bruce Willis.
I don't. At what?
Doing what you do, man.
I don't know.
Like you're not diehard Bruce Willis, but you're better than Bruce Willis.
I wasn't talking about Bruce Willis. I was
he's
talking about my
moonlighting
robot.
Bruce Willis. He's a private investigator. That's what he's. Yeah, he's moonlighting with Bruce Willis.
Moonlighting.
Sadly, he's kind of always been a tool, though, right?
Tom Michael posted a very beautiful picture of Edward Furlong grown up.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I don't like seeing this. This is like seeing late stage Kathleen Turner.
I got a question.
Is it like
I thought you were saying
Culkin?
late stage cancer?
No.
Is it like seeing bearded Macaulay Culkin?
It's
pretty much.
I'm okay with Macaulay.
Bearded the kid from The Sixth Sense.
Oh, dude, but you know what? Haley Joel Osment.
I love Haley Joel Osment.
He's in this movie. No, he's in a TV show, and I can't remember which one it was. It was so good in it too.
Well,
I wish I remembered what it was.
It's a crazy thing.
Wasn't he in The Boys?
Yeah, he was. He was in The Boys. Yeah.
Yes.
When I first saw the first season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I thought Rob McElhenney was Haley Joel Osment, and I thought he changed his name.
Oh wow, that's interesting. That was a great
season. That makes sense.
Great show.
But that is not the case.
Hey, did you know that there was a Terminator 2 Part 2?
Yes. Tell us about it, Richard.
I got to see it in Universal Studios Hollywood, and there is a video which we could eventually let folks see. The ride got shut down. I forget what it's called. It was Terminator Judgment Day.
Judgment Day 3D Race or War Across Time.
Yes. And
War Across
I was in the audience. I got to watch it. I mean, there was some holy macaroni, they went off on they put the 3D in the 3D. Tentacle, the giant, I mean the main big bad was the giant tentacled monster, but we had live a T-1000 type tentacle monster. It was an upgrade, like T-30,000 or something. But you had live actors portraying Sarah and John as they're trying to get away. You have a Arnie actor coming out on his motorcycle, shooting and everything. And then you have regular T-800s, T-1000s, and then this mecha T-1000 that the 3D was so good. It was like the tentacles coming all over you. They were coming all over you.
Yeah. And it was directed by James Cameron. It was created. It is canon.
It is canon, actually. Yeah.
And I think that there are some special edition physical releases that actually have that shot imagery, but you've actually seen it in person, where it was an entire stage production, where people and it was made so that motorcycles came on stage and people like jumped out and rolled, and there were machine guns, and it was an amazing interactive multimedia extravaganza
with the seats rumbling, rolling. I don't recall any shocks per se. I just know that we were like, there was when the buildings are collapsing and all the monstrous tentacles are smoke and everything. It was fantastic. I do have a DVD with Elvira talking about that. So cool. I'll share that sometime.
I remember that, yeah.
So the show I was trying to remember was the new X-Files season that came out in 2018. Yeah. Haley Joel Osment, the very first time I saw him with the beard was in his episode of that. It was a really good episode, too.
Well, yeah. I love X-Files. I've got everything, the books and stuff, and I was not happy with the reboot. I love X-Files. Somebody's got an echo.
New season.
Somebody's got a really bad microphone sound too. Like,
is it me?
The whole thing.
I think we're hearing some wind from Richard's mic. But
this isn't the wind though. I'm literally hearing my echo.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not here. You're not getting the echo. I'm not hearing any echo. So.
It's the first time I have heard echo during this broadcast. I know the wind is messing up because of the storm, so I probably will have to go.
It's not that bad.
Before you go, do you see a future for the Terminator? Like, do you see another Terminator movie happening? And especially considering the aging nature of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the perceived failure. I don't know how much failure was hoisted upon Dark Fate, but like, do you think that the Terminator has a future, Richard?
Let's blow up the planet and start anew.
No, I mean start with memory.
No, I'm saying
I don't want to Skynet this bitch.
No, I'm saying if they destroyed the planet, but a few survivors got off the planet, they would still have memory or data of some of the original prototypes or whatever. Then they would actually be starting new when they realize that the technology that's helping them build the new planet is actually building it to go against them. So I could see, like, if they wanted to do something like outrageous like that. Otherwise, T3 was actually a lot of fun. They screwed up in a lot of areas, but T3 was a lot of fun.
Let's give a lot of credit to Christina Loken.
Oh, was it Terminatrix?
TX.
Yep.
Of Norwegian heritage.
I was watching Transformers, the first one, the other night, and I kept expecting to see her. I got the movies confused. It was Transformers 4. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the problem with this franchise as a whole is that after they did Terminator 2, which reinvented it in such a good way, added so much extra layers to that story that they thought, they took the wrong message from it. It's like, oh, they just must love this particular story, not the fact that we did something different. And they've just been copying this Judgment Day thing over and over. Like, Terminator 3 had too much dad humor, horrible non-chemistry between the two leads, even though it was actually kind of interesting at the beginning of Judgment Day itself. The one thing I do think all the sequels have got right is that they add a new neat gimmick for the bad Terminator, Like, Each of the Bad Terminator is kind of neat. Dark Fate wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Genesis made my brain hurt trying to figure out how they're trying to tie this into the continuity. This is, but that kind of Terminator looked a bit cool too, even though the whole thing with it being John Connor, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? But because as I understand it, they wanted Genesis to spin out a new trilogy as well, and they wanted the same for Dark Fate. And it's like the idea of the Dark Fate. Oh, it's not Skynet now; it's a brand new company. It's like they keep doing. Even in Salvation, I thought that this could be an opportunity for a really fun like Terminator war movie that doesn't have to have the same old story of having to protect somebody, but they shoehorned that in there as well. Even though they had a really great idea of the death row inmate being reborn as a Terminator. And it's like they keep recycling that same thing, and it's like if that's the only plot they can think of for this franchise, then I don't see it having a future.
Well, that's a very interesting question, Kat. How would you move the Terminator franchise forward? How would you do it? Would you do it like Salvation, or would you do it now and humanity accepts the nuclear holocaust as being inevitable, or like how would you move it forward?
No more time travel, go back in time, kill people stuff. They've done that too many times.
True.
If you're gonna go back to like the Salvation timeline and have like, if you don't have, or maybe if you don't have anything interesting to say, maybe just let it go, because it's like this franchise doesn't seem to be one which has
gonna let it go.
I know, but they don't have that many jumping off points. They've lost a lot of money because they scrapped their sequel plans for Genesis. They scrapped the sequel plans for Dark Fate, which I don't think were going to happen anyway, because Linda Hamilton didn't seem to have all that great of a time doing that movie. She's like, yeah, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, and I'm just doing this and that's it. And so it's like, okay. But because if that's what they're trying to lean on, it's like, oh, we'll bring back Linda Hamilton. That'll get people coming back. We'll bring back Schwarzenegger. That'll get people coming back. Well, if they don't think they can have any new characters.
Michael Biehn.
Right, but if they don't think they have any new characters or new type of plots they can go in there, I don't see how they can move the franchise forward in any way at that point. But
okay,
if I were in charge of it, I would go back to the war between the machines and the humans in the future, and have like a neat story out of that doesn't have any of the we must protect every certain person type of stuff.
Well, and Tony mentioned it in terms of being a fan of the comics. And are you like, did you ever see the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Yeah, I saw that. That was okay. I thought that was pretty inventive and a neat idea.
I thought the Sarah Connor Chronicles were better than Genesis.
Oh yeah, I think Genesis is even worse than Terminator 3, even though Terminator 3 had like more cringy humor in it, because at least it's Terminator 3 I could follow the plot. I could follow the plot. I thought TX was pretty cool. I liked seeing all the machines starting to take over in the climax. I liked the twist at the end that he wasn't trying to help prevent it. He was just trying to help save them, to make sure that those two were going to live, because it was like inevitable. But Genesis was just, I couldn't follow the plot logic. I couldn't follow how they were trying to tie it into the continuity. It felt too much like they were just shamelessly trying to redo. It's like, oh, Skynet going live plot again. Yeah, I thought the helicopter chase was cool, and I like how they killed that Terminator at whatever facility that was in Oakland. I thought that was kind of neat, but I didn't get anything else out of that movie.
I think it's time for Arnold to say, "I won't be back."
Right. No, I'd love to see him go into the future and see the war.
Yeah, we need to see the battles.
That would be cool. And if you have to have time travel, then go back and pluck somebody out of the past and bring him towards the future to help win that battle.
Do the reverse. That's a good idea.
I would also retcon the Michael Ironside character's death from Terminator Salvation. He's awesome. Like,
yeah.
Bring him back as being in charge of a general resistance. That would be awesome to see him went back to.
It'd be cool that I don't know. And it doesn't have to be Connor, or it doesn't have to be the Connor clan. It's just maybe somebody, some kind of, coder, or some kind of MacGuffin or something that kind of, you have to go back. This crude, hacker back in the day is the only guy that can come and fix or win this war for us. I think that would be way better. If you got to do time travel, go forward, bring somebody forward instead of coming back to kill a bunch of people, which we've done in almost every incarnation of this thing.
Plus, if you're gonna send back one, why not just send back a ton of Terminators?
Right.
You know, it's like
Also, why not send one Terminator back to like the medieval top period? You know, why send why send them to a time
to wipe out the whole line?
Exactly. You could go back.
Well, they've got to be able to create more computers, though.
Well, I mean, it has all that ability in its brain, right?
Hey, come on. Ash made a robot hand in the Middle Ages, so I'm sure they can put together a Terminator.
And he's a complete imbecile, right?
He's a moron.
It's like
eliminating a family tree that far back affects all of the timeline, no matter what.
Because that's what they're trying to do, right? This is what they're trying to do.
But that's part of the reason why it was so easy to go back and eliminate Sarah Connor. Part of the reason why she's a waitress at a Big Boy is that she is inconsequential to history.
Yeah, exactly. So you go back.
She did not affect anything.
Exactly. John Connor never mattered because it's the only thing that matters is Skynet gets created.
No,
Once
but
Skynet
John Connor is important because Sarah Connor is important for having given birth, and also being that, I hate to bring up a TVA argument, but that nexus point where it's like, okay, we can just eliminate her. Let's just cull her and everything will be fine. Because you're absolutely right, Tony. There is a computer being like, what are the variables on the past and what can we change that ensures our survival and their demise? Well, the biggest thing is John Connor. And if we get rid of one waitress who has a roommate, let's just.
But yeah, go back to prehistoric times even.
You have no idea how much that'll mess up the timeline. I hate to butterfly effect you.
It's totally butterfly effect. Yeah.
But again, Skynet doesn't give a fuck about the timeline.
Skynet wants to ensure that they are created.
Yeah, so they can do it themselves, right?
If you change too much.
Why not?
Then...
we can't go back. We can't go back because geodes, certain types of metals and everything, they occur over time. You couldn't go back to the dinosaur age. They couldn't because those properties haven't been created yet. The rocks, metals.
But here's the thing: a Terminator has all the knowledge of humanity in its brain. It could go back 1 million years. And it could create the Industrial Revolution 1 million years ago, right? It could build one Terminator 1 million years ago could create Skynet in 1,000 years.
Could it create enough iron or any metallic geodes?
Well, yeah, because if for all of that metallurgy and even metamaterial that's created in the future into the future. As long as that unit carried the knowledge of humanity out back, it could fashion it. It wouldn't take them long to do any of that.
Yeah, I mean, and don't forget,
I was going to say, I think we're overthinking it a bit because the whole reason the Skynet wanted to go back and kill Sarah Connor is because John Connor specifically is the one who unites humanity into something that's even able to fight the machines. Humanity is not the problem. Humanity is not the problem for Skynet. It's that this particular individual was the one who managed to bring everybody together and start causing problems. So, I mean, they could do what you said, go all the way back and do metallurgy and do that. But it's like it'd be much simpler to just go back and kill that guy. But like I said, just go back and bring a bunch of Terminators with you so that it's a much easier job,
Or just like, I mean, they know that the city that Sarah Connor lived in. Why not just drop a nuke on it?
Nuke it.
Well, okay, hang on 2 seconds.
I'm sorry to break up the conversation, but I just have to say that I'm gonna have to log off because I have a phone call I need to take.
Okay, buddy. Hey, thanks for being here, dude.
I'm gonna just say goodbye.
All
but
right.
I will see all you guys later.
Thanks for hanging out. Well, hopefully we'll see you next Friday. And obviously we'll see you next Thursday on your show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Yeah, I hope also I'll be there.
Yeah, me too. Wouldn't be much of a show without you.
Yeah. Have a nice night, everyone.
All right, take it easy.
Aloha.
Terminator 2. Anyway, it is, when you're dealing with the timelines, it is a difficult question because you could go back and eliminate one thing that will eliminate everything without question. So you can go back to the 70s as they do in Genesis. You can go back to the 1800s as they do in the comics. And the thing is the cascading effect of time travel is going to mess up your possibility of being created. And that's why I think Skynet is, as Kat said, so specific about eliminating John Connor.
Yeah.
Right, and you did raise a good point there, Scott, that even if they killed John Connor, that gets rid of him, but maybe that paves the way for somebody else to take his role, because, that would be an interesting story to tell. Like, what is it about John Connor specifically that makes him so effective that the machines feel the need to even send Terminators back in time? Because I didn't even get the sense of that from the Christian Bale character in Terminator Salvation. I didn't really. It's like, okay, so he's the random military guy number 3 who's leading this particular charge, but I didn't pick up on him as being this amazing, unbelievable. He's not like the Desert Fox, so to speak. He's not like he's not like Robert E. Lee of Humanity.
Again, that's the point that they try and make sort of rather ham-fistedly in Dark Fate. The fact that if you cut off one head, 2 more grow, right? Because that's how freedom fighters work. It's like the Hydra.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that everything after no fate but what you make for yourself. Like, I love that message from Terminator 2. That is...
Well, and like Terminator 1 as well. That was in Terminator 1.
Yep. And
the Terminator.
The Terminator 1.
Well, the Terminator.
But, yes, agreed. I'm just
going to make this point. It's not Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, I'm just going to say that.
Yes.
You can shove that New Hope up your butthole.
That's right. It's not a New Hope.
That's
Star Wars.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite Christmas songs, actually.
Shove that New Hope up your butt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a great Christmas song. Scotty, you want to read some of these chats?
I do. Todd Michael says, the problem with this franchise is there are only 2 options. They either prevent Skynet future or they don't. It's that simple. Trying to revisit this is ridiculous. And that's why I think, in the same way that I disregard Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I disregard everything after Terminator 2. I think if I were to rate the Terminator movies, I would say 1 is the best, or no, 2 is the best, 1 is my favorite, and Salvation is the most interesting.
Agreed. Agreed. Let me. I'll just put up both hands. I agree.
You know what I think would be a really interesting topic for discussion? I think if one of us came up with a reboot pitch for one of their favorite franchises that has lost its way, and I bet it would be a hell of a lot better than either Genesis or Dark Fate.
Yeah. But again, all of these movies have been created with the intention of being trilogies, and none of them have succeeded.
Yeah, I don't put the cart before the horse.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Steve,
let's make good movie
you're always the smartest.
No.
I gotta take off, guys. Weather's getting a little bit choppy over here.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Stay safe.
Cheers. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate everything you do, sir.
I love you all. See you later.
Oh no, where'd Tony go?
He's there.
There he is.
Oh, there I am.
Nulladoc says, "Oh, shut up, Todd and Michael. You don't actually give a shit about Terminator as a franchise." Cam, hey Cam. Cam says, "Yes, that would be a great way to do it. Go back to the actual war for supremacy." Well, that's the entire thing that Skynet is working towards. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, Skynet and the Matrix, like the machines from the Matrix, very similar, but the Matrix seemed to have their power generation worked out a bit more. Todd Michael says, "True" at Nulladoc. True. Todd Michael also continues on to say, I think needs to make a shirt that reads Skynet doesn't give a fuck about the timeline."
Yeah.
They're not.
It'd be a good shirt. It would be a good shirt.
Skynet does not give a shit about the timeline.
I think that's it for today.
That's it?
Well, for the chats.
For the chat? So I don't know. Did you guys want to run down your favorite Terminator moment of all time?
Moments. I'd really have to think about that.
Anything with the T-1000 in the sequel is just so awesome. The effects for that were really cool, and very well cast. My favorite Robert Patrick character.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my favorite, I'll agree with Kat and say my favorite moment is when he goes through the bars, the jail bars.
Yeah.
It's a cool effect, especially back then, to be able to pull that effect off and make it look, decent and make it look like it was real. I thought that was really good back then.
Tony?
For me, it might have to be the steam press in the first film. Just to see the life sort of fade from its eyes as it is crushed into oblivion.
And obviously the most inspirational is the thumbs up, right?
Where the franchise
gets me every time.
Great scene.
And my favorite, Tony, is that moment where my favorite Terminator moment is when they punch the gun into Porkins. That is literally, like, when I think about how you can get around time travel, yeah, I'm a Terminator. I can put shit in you.
Well, here's the thing we didn't talk about. We didn't talk about what if Lance Henriksen played the Terminator, because that was the plan, right?
But I think Robert Patrick was the compensation or the translation of Lance Henriksen playing the Terminator in the first one, and it makes sense. Only
if his name was actually Bishop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, it's also one of 3 movies where, the Terminator, Predator 2, and Aliens, Bill Paxton got to hang out with the Alien, the Terminator, and the Predator. So that's cool.
Oh,
anyway.
and Lance Henriksen as well.
Not in the Predator. Oh, yeah. Alien versus Predator.
Yep.
All right. Do you guys want to talk about
I like to pretend that all 3 of those movies that we talked about today, and not only the Terminator franchise, but the Alien franchise and the Matrix franchise are all in the same universe of some sort.
Yeah. Agreed.
Different timelines, different timelines of the same universe.
Well, as long as they're connected by Bill Paxton, I will make it my headcanon.
Yeah, the Matrix is a bit of a stretch, but still.
Well,
that surprised me there.
Yeah. I still want my alternate universe Colonel Hicks TV series on Hulu. It's not going to happen, but I can.
It'd be dope. Who would you cast in the lead?
Well, Colonel Hicks, it's got to be Michael Biehn, right? So
Yeah.
I'd have it 30 years after.
30 years in. Okay, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and he's
so we were not young Hicks.
Yeah.
Who would be Newt? Who would play Newt?
We could just say that she died and it'd be better off.
Yeah, because that worked well for Alien 3.
Well,
cares about
I would
her,
have her
really?
be. I would have her be like the science officer, because my idea is it's a Sulaco-like ship full of a new, obviously the colonial marines. They go around the galaxy sorting out disputes, and every season you get one Predator episode and one Alien episode. Although I quite like the idea of having a Predator emissary on board the ship, much like Worf in Next Generation. But maybe that's too close. Too close to call.
But your kids will love it. Shall we? Oh, hey, Todd Michael says they're dead. Can I go now? True. Cam, Lance Henriksen would have been amazing. Named Bishop. Hey, Steve.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
If you're gonna have Lance Henriksen as the Terminator, his name has to be Bishop.
I can't remember who.
He was
in the Terminator movie, right?
Yeah,
Which
he was. Yeah, he was. He was the policeman that said about. He talked about the angel dust. He must be on angel dust.
Mm-hmm. PCP could have punched through the windshield, broke every bone in his body, but he wouldn't have felt it until hours later. Yeah,
there you go. That was Lance Henriksen. Yeah, he was supposed to play. Schwarzenegger was supposed to play Kyle Reese, and Lance Henriksen was supposed to play the Terminator, but obviously that didn't happen.
Oh, and also, I don't mean to be crass and crude, but by the end of this, like, Terminator 1 is also entertaining because, Linda Hamilton is an attractive woman in my regard, and it is the only one, the first Terminator is the only one with nudity.
That's is it the only one? No. I think there's nudity in one of the other ones, right?
Like nipples?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have to double check that.
I always thought the first movie was a little slow, but I did like the climax of the movie.
It's a romance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought the movie was okay. I mean, I liked the second one a lot more. I think the pacing was a lot better. But I do like that the first one honestly feels to me more like it's trying to be a horror film.
Totally.
With some action beats in it. Even though it didn't really work for me as much, even though I like the story, but I do really love the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kat, who's the guy who made the T-800 endoskeleton?
Stan Winston?
Yes, I definitely wanted to give a shout out to Stan Winston for everything.
And the Predator as well.
Yeah.
He basically saved the Predator. He saved Predator.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to give one of the greats of design.
Yeah. Well, that was funny because that was actually James Cameron's idea, the design of the Predator.
Really?
Really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he was on a flight with Stan Winston. I think they're going to Japan to do something like that, and Stan had already been trying to sketch these ideas because they needed him to save the Predator movie because the first costume was just horrible, and he was telling James like, "What are you doing?" He's like, and he tells him. And Stan's like, "You got any ideas for this?" He's like, and Jim thinks about it. He's like, I've always wanted to see something with mandibles. He's like, Stan's like, really? He's like, oh, okay. So how about this? He's like, yeah. And that's how the Predator design came about. Looks pretty neat.
Yeah, it is cool. All right. Well, shall we call it a day there, Scotty?
Why not?
I think we're kind of wound down on our Judgment Day celebration.
Yeah.
Pre-Judgment Day celebration.
Well, I think we've given everyone enough time to figure out what they're doing by Sunday.
Yeah. I don't think you have to worry, by the way. So don't sell off all your goods.
No.
I think we'll be fine this time around.
Also, if you find an Austrian man who is asking you to go with him if you want to live, I would recommend it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's very true. Yeah.
Also, if the bus or train pulls up in front of your door, don't get on.
No. What?
It's whatever. Never get on the train. Never get on the train. When they tell you to get on the train, don't go. All right, I think that's it. Tony, do you have anything that you would like to promote?
Not at the moment, no.
What are you talking about? You're a damn fool, Tony.
Okay. Sorry. Well, at the moment we've got. I'm doing a show with Richard and it's PGS All Stars and that stuff, which of course we are all involved in one way or another.
Yep.
PGS All Stars, what we love about Masters of the Universe. You have an incredible conversation with and Richard. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to growl. In
fact, that's
what I was trying.
Is that on later today, or is it the same time today? Do you know?
Yeah. It's what's the time now? Oh yeah, it should be going up it's either gone up or it's going up soon. But
I think 2:30. If it's a regular time, it's 2:30, which is about almost 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So it should be on now on the Burn Network. If not,
incredible.
And I think there might be a second episode scheduled for later tonight, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're getting a nice dislike ratio. I like the number of dislikes we're getting because we're creating a dialogue. It's not particularly pleasant dialogue, but it's a dialogue nonetheless. So, but yeah, we're getting out there and we are making a point. It's a point about Master of the Universe, which, let's face it, isn't really that important, but it's a point nonetheless. So whatever.
Awesome. Well, we'll catch you over there, Tony. Thanks for stopping by today. And like we tell everybody, you're welcome any Friday. So we hope to see you again. Take care. All right, Kat. What do you have to promote? I know you have something coming up next week.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Freezing up.
Yeah. Yes, I guess you can find me Wednesday nights at 6 on this channel, Martinis, Gadgets, and Guns with Scott.
What?
Yeah, that'll be fun. And I do have an episode of PGS All Stars coming up sometime soon. I'm gonna reschedule, I guess. I'm not sure, but sometime soon, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So I'll see you all Wednesday night.
Awesome. All right, take care. Thank you.
Sooner, hopefully sooner.
Oh, right. You will, but the people watching the show will probably won't see me till Wednesday night.
Right.
Anticipate it. She's awesome. See you, Kat.
See ya. All right. And then there were 2.
And then, oh my God, that was the worst show we've ever done.
Yeah? Why?
I'm just embarrassed.
Well, why? Because you were on it?
Well, no, don't worry about it. Once I learn to program, and then I'll work the Skynet, and then I'll go back in time. And then
you can correct it.
I can just blow the whole thing up.
Yeah, just nuke it from outer space, and we're all good.
Well, you're mixing your Weyland-Yutanis again.
Okay. Well, I like I said, I think they're in the same universe.
Well, and I agree.
In my head canon. In my head canon.
I was just being facetious. Did you have a good time today, sir?
I did. It was a fun conversation. It was I didn't know this was coming up, so it was nice to get that kind of surprised when you said, "Hey, let's talk about Terminator" last week. I'm like, "All right, we'll talk about Terminator." And Judgment Day. For some reason, I was thinking it was the anniversary of the release of the movie, but no. Okay,
actual
but this was
Judgment Day. And thank you so much for having those clips that actually contextualized it.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, do you want to get out of here? Do you have anything you want to add?
I do. I just, we want to, make sure you guys know we're here Monday through Friday, obviously at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific, Eastern, you know how that shit goes. Also, on Monday nights, catch Set to Stun. On Wednesday nights, catch Martini's Gadgets and Guns. And on Thursdays, catch our new show, Cult Classic Movie Corner.
Mm-hmm.
And
also check out our back catalog. We got a whole lot of content.
A bunch of cool stuff.
And also, for Set to Stun, we like Chandra, my co-host, she's exploring Picard for the first time, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So she I have not spoiled it yet. Right. And so our resident, I don't want to call her the resident Klingon. I feel like that's rude.
It's not. She is. She was a Klingon on Star Trek Discovery.
She's not a Klingon. She played one on TV.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So check that out. We also did some work for the Burr Network that should go up sometime here in the near future. So look for us over there as well. I think we had some late. I think there's just thank yous and buys, and let's see. Thanks everybody.
Cam. I'm too hard on myself. It was great. Thank you, Cam. I am the hardest person on myself. Thanks, Gauze. Thanks, Gauze. Thanks, guys. Take it easy and be well. And to you, Cam, and everyone else who was watching today and everyone else who participated. I'd like to thank, Tony, Turge, Kat, the Richard, Steve.
That's it. You and me.
Okay. So we're good.
We are good. We covered all the bases. So, for Scotty R37, I am Steve Foley. Buy my book, everybody, please. Here's the trailer as we go, and we'll see you Monday.